Okay, so the next code you'll learn in this module is about lists and how to style lists and the different types of lists and how to create a list within a list. So the last one, we have all of our work from the last one, so I need to fix that here. So I'll go ahead and create a new HTML document. Make sure it's HTML. Save it. And because this is just an example, just a practice, I'm going to save it to the desktop. And this one we're going to do testing lists. Again, you can keep these in a folder, but just we're not having any images or extra files with this, so it's fine to put it on the desktop for now. Okay, so we need our basic structure. We have that in the module 1 area, so we can copy that in there. And then I am using the MDN website to go through lists right here. So they have this example code, and we can put it in the body tags. Oops, I should actually copy that. All right, so this is the example code we have. And what we have here is we have different types of lists. So we have paragraphs for reference, and then we have an unordered list, which would show just bullets because there's no specific order. It doesn't matter which order these are in. And then we have an ordered list, and this is where it does have a specific order. So that's important. When you're creating lists, you should only have an ordered list if the order of the list items matter. So because this is a recipe, it is important that you go step by step through these. So if I were to save this and have it open in the live preview, you can see that we have the unordered list where the order doesn't matter and the ordered list where it does. And then we have a different list down here for definitions. So I don't actually use this a lot. So if you want to skip this part, you can. But basically it's saying that you have definition term and then definition descriptions. So this is like a definition list. Okay. So as we go through the MDN website, it's going to talk about the different styling options that you can use to design lists. Now, lists that are just like content are good and the styling is good for them, but I want you to know that the way that we make navigation and websites is actually built from a list. So it's really important that you understand how to properly structure or code a list. So let's go ahead and copy these and put them in the style tag, which should go in the head. So we'll go ahead and type style. Oops. And then paste all that in there. All right, so here's where we have some style. We can save it. And we just see a little bit of design right here. So like all of a sudden the definition terms are bold. See, definition term font weighted bold. So watch the text styling tutorial video if you need a little bit of help with that. So you can look through here and see what things are being targeted, like all the list items and paragraphs have a line height of 5. Unordered lists, ordered lists, definition lists, and paragraphs all have a font size of 1.5 rems. So anyway, you can go through that and check through. So then this talks about the list-specific styles. So this is where you can do the list style type. You can have it numbers, letters, Roman numerals. You can say where the position, like the bullets are positioned. And then you can also, so like right here, see how this has Roman letters, that's the list style type. And then the bullet position is exactly where it's located. And then you can actually add an image. So and here we have all these styles. You can add a star image for all the bullets. So you can go through those and mess with them on your own time. And then down here it has shorthand style, how you can make your CSS a little bit more condensed. And then it talks about list counting. Like if you wanted to start on step 4, you can use a value of start 4 in the ordered list. And same thing if you want each of these to go like 2, 4, 6, 8. But this one is the one that I wanted to make sure that you understand, and that's styling a nested list, because this is important to understand. If you're making navigation with like drop-down menus, it uses something called a nested list. So basically a nested list is you have an unordered list here that opens and closes around the whole thing. And then you have 3 items in that unordered list. So these would be 3 bullets. And then as a part of this list item, notice it doesn't have a closing tag because it closes itself down here. You have 3 items in there that are an ordered list because they come in order. So let's see how that would work. This is what it should look like. See how we have bullets? And then this one has its own list, and these are specifically ordered. So let's talk through how to do that. I'm going to just add it at the bottom here. And the first thing we know is we're going to create one list, and it's an ordered list because it's an unordered list because we see the bullets. So in that unordered list, we have 3 steps. So I'm going to type LI and pretend I type, well, I could just type it. First, light the candle. And then remember that stays, that stays there. And then we have the next list item. And that is next, open the box. And then we have the third one, which is finally place the 3 and pretend I wrote all that. Now, this list item needs to end after the sub list that's in this. So I'm actually going to hit return a couple of times, or enter if you're on a PC, to give myself some space. Now I need to add another list inside of this one bullet. So this, because it has 1, 2, 3, is an ordered list. So I'm going to type OL and then close that and put all the list items. Why is it not deleting? Okay. All the list items in here. So now I'm going to do again a list item. And this is going to be the Book of Spells. And then another list item. The Shiny Rod. And then one more list item, which is the Goblin Statue. Okay. So again, these 3 are in an unordered list. So there's the unordered list that closed. Notice it closes before this list item closes. And then we have these 3 list items that are in this final unordered list. So now if I were to do save and come over here, let's make sure it works. And it did. So we have the same thing over there. So this is really truly how drop-down menus are made. If this was like home, and then this was about us, and this was products, and then we had 3 products, the products are actually made of a sub list within that actual top of this item right here. So that's something we're going to do in the future. I just wanted you to make sure that you can create this nested list structure. If you needed this to be an unordered list, you can just switch these, or an ordered list, you can switch these out. S, save it. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If this needed to be an unordered list, you can change that out here. Save, you can see it here. So if I wanted to create another list item, like the Book of Spells, maybe we need chapter 1 and chapter 2. See if you can do that. So we're going to close it after the list items that go in there. If it's 2 different chapters and they're in order, then maybe we need an ordered list. So ordered list, and then we have a list item of chapter 3, and then let's pretend we needed chapter 7. Chapter 7. Okay. So again, this closes before this list item closes. And then this list item, or along with these, are a part of this unordered list. And then that's a part of this list item, which goes with these 2 in the ordered list. So if I hit S, or Command or Control S to save, now you can see that there's an indented sublist for this item, which is a part of a sublist for this item, which is all a part of this list. So that might be a little bit confusing. I hope seeing it helps you understand. But as you're going through all of these, try to play around with some of these settings, these styles, how to change the value of the numbers, how to change the bullet, you know, design something cool, a little skull or something, and put a Halloween list going, and see if you can get those going in your practice so that when you actually build it for your website, you can have some cool lists if you want them.